Well, I grew up in an alcoholic home. Sometimes my parents were abusive to each other, and watching that, I thought that's what marriage was. And then they ended up getting divorced when I was around 11. And I lived with my dad up north in Howard, Ohio, and he worked a long way away, and pretty much he drove 3 hours a day and then worked 10. So I was alone in my teen years for a long time, stealing, drinking at age 12, 13, dabbing into whatever was handed to me, hanging in with that crowd, and completely lost, jealous of families that had a family, that their father wanted to seek time with them later in life, in the Marine Corps. And that hate started to grow, the anger started to grow, and I didn't know at that time that I was separated from a holy God, and I was walking that course of this world, and I was in Satan's family at that time, and just utterly broken, seeking anything I could find hope in. I was so bitter with people and that were trying to help me, that they didn't know who I was. So angry that I didn't have a family that they had. Just tired of being made fun of all my life, and that I would never amount to anything in my life. Full of regret and shame, and looking for hope in the bottom of that liquor bottle, bottom of that pill bottle, and whatever drug I could get my hands on to find happiness. And I never found it, but constantly seeking for it from the world. That was the hardest thing for me to understand, being separated from a holy God. Someone was bold enough to tell me I needed Jesus, and I needed Jesus. We all do. And I went to a little church, and I walked in and I heard the gospel. I heard the good news that I can change. I can find hope in Christ. I don't have to live in that pit anymore that I was lying in, bound to those chains. Those chains can be broke only by Jesus. And I walked up front, and I asked Jesus to come to my life, change my life. I put my faith in him. I began to become a better husband, changed my marriage, a better father, a better son, a better coworker, a better friend, and with a passion to seek the lost, a passion to share the gospel that people need to hear. Everybody needs to hear the gospel because they need Jesus for eternity, and that's only where true life begins. I have been made alive only because of him.